Hello, guys. I was so close to just taking a nap then. I thought, no, I'm going to do this live before I teach English because I want to destroy Adidas. I want to destroy it. This morning, I've been with my beautiful girlfriend, Kenya. Had a beautiful salmon bagel, some pancakes, ice cold orange juice, baby. And now I'm back. Did a bit of coding. I coded Spurs to win today and Kane to score. It happened. That's nice. Thank you to Chuck in my community who posted Inter to beat Napoli. Appreciate you, Chucky boy. But anyway, I'm not going to focus too much on sports here. I'm going to destroy Adidas. Nice one, Tottenham. Cheers, Coca-Cola. The code was very strong for Tottenham and for Kane to score. 6079 Smith is in the building. One of the very best decoders in the world that I've ever come across, in my opinion. Angel's fantastic as well. So I was having a moment where I was like, why do certain things become famous? Why do certain things become popular? And is it organic? Is it not? Who's behind it? So obviously I'm an athlete, and pretty much all the gear I ever bought was Adidas or Nike, depending on where you are in the world. I call it Nike in the US, they call it Nike. So got a load of gear that's Adidas and Nike. It's hard for me to just get rid of all of it. So I looked into Adidas a while ago. I was going to do a video a while ago about Adidas, but I looked in more detail recently about it. Because most of us in the West, if you're into sports, you've purchased Adidas. Think about Argentina, who just won the World Cup. They're sponsored by Adidas. And we all discussed the three stripes. All right, three, a number connected to the occult. We know it's bigger than that now because of the work that I've shared, but the occult are obsessed with number three. And they have a fascination with pyramids. They say the Adidas logo, there's three Adidas logos, but they say the one that looks like a pyramid is actually a mountain because you're going to climb to the top of the mountain and all of that. It's nonsense. It's connected to the Illuminati pyramid. So, hey, SK Gaming, Fabian, how you doing? Former Adidas CAO is now FC Bayern Munich president. Yeah, I'll discuss that, but thank you very much. Puma, yeah, you'll find out in this live that the founder of Adidas, his brother, founded Puma. So come on, guys. Two of the most popular brands in the world are Adidas and Puma. And you had a guy, interestingly, whose first name is Adolf, like Adolf Hitler. He founded Adidas, all right? And then his brother founded Puma. So the guy who founded Adidas was Adolf Dassler. He founded Adidas 98 years ago in Bavaria, and he died on 9/6. And it's just how this reality is coded is that Queen Elizabeth died on 9/8 at age 96, and you've got Adolf Dassler. He founded Adidas 98 years ago and died on 9/6. It's crazy how everything is coded. So I'll get deep into this because you've got to be asking yourself, like, why Adidas? Or well, they just had a better marketing ploy than all the other brands. No, it's deeper than that. The Illuminati founded Adidas, and whatever they want to promote to the top, they can, because they control the mainstream media as well. And then they control all professional sports, so they can get all the clubs to be sponsored by their brands. Again, brand, satanic when you get branded, like Russell Brand. Okay, so hello Chigozi, much love. Thank you for enjoying my books and taking a chance with me, purchasing them and started reading them. I'm very grateful to you. Puma, obviously that connects to the family of lions. There's so much lion symbolism that they use, or at least Satan tries to use, but we know Jesus is the true Lion of Judah. They just try and infiltrate. They just want to be Jesus. They want to be God. And they never will be. And that's what's funny about all of it. They're delusional. Hello, Divine. Good evening. Good evening. I don't know how I've got this energy. I was so close to just falling asleep. Lionel Messi, born 24-6, 24 in the live, 6 likes. Interesting. Somebody was asking me what does the number 144 mean? I will work on doing a video for you. I've got so much knowledge on that number. You said you've been seeing it your whole life. Nobody's been able to tell you what it represents. I'll do my best for you. Don't know who you are, but I read your comment. So I'll try and do a video for you. From the founding of Adidas to Kobe's first game, 17244 days. 17-2 is the GOAT's birthday in regards to Michael Jordan. And we know what 44 is. Yeah, 44 is a number. It seems to be connected to death. It just seems to be. We just saw Arsenal recently get to 44 points. I did say in my live, there's not a chance I would take Arsenal money line to win. Have to take Newcastle double chance because 43 and 44 are just so big. Those numbers, they won't go into 46 in my opinion in that game from what I saw. Hello, Stanny, Okbalez. So West is in the building. Woo-hoo! The kingdom of heaven is at hand. Is in the Bible 144 times. Didn't know that. I will take that and add to my video, which I'm definitely not doing later because I've got to teach English later and a few other things. But the beautiful thing is Kenya has a day off tomorrow. So I love to treat Kenya. I love to take her out and treat her. It's crazy. I'm talking about Kenya now, 30 in the live, 7 likes. And 307 is the time in The Conjuring where the demons come out. And she does love that movie. I did used to love, oh my word, 28 in the live, 7 likes, Harry Kane's birthday, who I said would score today and Spurs would win. I used to like horror movies. I kind of find them cringeworthy now and almost comical. But she does enjoy The Conjuring. It's funny, I just talked about her. And I know how big 307 is with that movie. If you've watched it, you know what I'm talking about. When the clock strikes 307, it seems that the demons come out. They say witch's hour is between 3 and 4 a.m. But again, we don't know that. Our Arsenal winning the league, finishing 5th last season. Because it's the code, mate. I've said many times in lives that Arsenal's squad is very average. If Arsenal right now with that squad were 9th in the league, like 9th or 10th, there won't be any shock from me. If back when I believed in professional sports, was a diehard Man United fan, the Red Devils. If Arsenal were like mid-table right now with that squad, I'd be like, yeah, I can see why. But the fact that they're leading, what's very interesting about Arsenal leading it is this. Man City are still minus 175 favourites to take the league. That's very interesting. All right. And for all of you out there who gamble, I'm just going to say this. I haven't coded it yet, just my gut feeling. Be very careful if you're going to hammer Man City to beat Chelsea tomorrow. Because the average mindset of a football fan now will be, well, of course Man City are going to win. They're going to cut the gap. It's going to be a gimme. I can just imagine my friends talking like that. It'd be so hilarious and no shock at all with how I know these numbers if Chelsea shock Man City. It's just how it works. So I was speaking to my brother today. He said West Ham's owner died. Do you think that means that West Ham win? I said, it's not how it works. It's not how it works. I said, what's the odds? He said, they're pretty much the same, plus 170 each to win. I said, bro, and you know what? I could go play the audios. My phone's on charge. I could play the exact audio. I said, bro, when there's 2 teams with pretty much the same odds, more often than not, it's a draw. He said, do you reckon a draw? I said, yeah, I think it'll be a draw. So that was a draw. I told loads of people that Southampton were not winning. They got beat by Forest, 1-0. What else were there? I had Spurs to win and Kane to score. And this is what I said. I said, again, bro, think about a normal football fan and their logic. This is their logic. So Everton just went to the Etihad and drew 1-1 with Man City. People say are the best team in the world. All right. They've gone there and drawn 1-1. Massive shock. So everyone's then thinking, well, they're at home now and they're playing Brighton and Brighton's best players out. Trossard. So this is pretty much a gimme for Everton. Look what they just did at Man City. A few days later, Brighton, without their best player, thump Everton 4-1. And I said, I'll give you another example, bro. He said, go on. Ivan Toney, just a little Satanist who came out of nowhere, League One, League Two, wherever he was playing, to almost go into the World Cup. But even Tony's out. There's no way Brentford are going to beat Liverpool. Who's going to score for them? Another Satanist who's coded to score for them? Brentford hammer Liverpool. Don't matter if the players are out. Did you just see what happened today with Barcelona? They're playing a club called Intercity. I could be playing in that league. I don't know if it's the B League or the third division in Spain. And Barcelona had to beat them in extra time. Some guy called Oriol Puig, all right, scored a hat-trick against Barcelona. He wears number 18 for Intercity. All right? He gets a hat-trick against them. This shouldn't be happening, guys, in the slightest. All right? It finished 4-3 to Barcelona. They had a team full of internationals, guys. They literally had players like Memphis Depay, Torres, Dembele, Busquets. They had Jordi Alba, Hector Bellerin, and they're playing against a nobody team. All right? And it took them extra time. They had to win 4-3 to mock Jesus, who died April the 3rd. But to win it with a 103rd minute winner, 103 is the 27th prime. 27's big. It's why Forest won with a 27th minute winning goal. How's that going? How are Barcelona not beating that team 20-0? How are they not beating that team 20-0 if it was legit? All internationals in the team. Playing against a team called Intercity. The player who scored a hat-trick against them, guys, was playing for Birmingham City under 23s not long ago. All right? And now he's banging a hat-trick against Barcelona. Come on. It's just the code. So don't get wrapped up about that. Like, oh, well, they've got two of the best players out. It don't mean anything. It has nothing, zilch, to do with talent. All right? Messi, Ronaldo do what they do because of the demon within them and because of the code that they're connected to. Simple as that. See through the code, you'll be able to do what I do, where you practically get everything right. Not everything. I wouldn't want to, but you've got to see the code and not look at it logically. People are saying, how did Spurs, again, I said this to my brother, I said, Spurs have just got thumped by Villa, outplayed by Villa at home. And now all Sky Sports are saying Spurs are going through a crisis. Conte might lose his job. Spurs are there for the taking. This is Palace's game to win. I saw all of that. I was like, okay, good one. So Spurs win then. Plus my insane code for Spurs. It's on my Twitter if you're not on my website. Don't fall for it. I've told you there's people in this world that know where the future's going. They almost know the outcomes, but they lead you in the wrong direction. You've got to be able to see through that. So let me go back to Adidas. All right, a brand that probably everyone in the chat's won. So we often call out Adidas for its 3 stripes and pyramid logo, but most have no idea that Adidas was founded in the same place as the Illuminati. Donald Trump's grandmother, Elizabeth Christ Trump, middle name Christ, because people don't know that Trump's actually a Nazi. His last name's Drumpf. It's not Trump, because they've not done the research. It's Drumpf. And his grandmother was born in the Kingdom of Bavaria. She died 66, the year the Church of Satan was founded. Founded in 1949 officially, Adidas is a German multinational corporation founded and headquartered in Bavaria, where the Illuminati were founded, that designs and manufactures shoes, clothing, and accessories. It is the largest sportswear manufacturer in Europe and the second largest in the world after Nike. What's interesting about Nike is this. You've got to look into why these brands are called what they're called. You've got to look into the symbolism behind them. You've got to look into who founded them. Nike was the winged goddess of victory. All right? Think about people like Tiger Woods, sponsored by Nike. There's a load of them. So Athletes who wanted to win worshipped Nike. Even today, she has some significance to athletes. If you look carefully, you may notice a striking similarity between Nike's wings and a famous swoosh symbol found on the Nike sneakers. We know a lot of these athletes and rappers, they're always promoting Adidas and Nike because they all work for Satanists. So the Illuminati, guys, is a real thing. We've seen it in the mainstream where they try and mock the Illuminati. The Illuminati is a legit organization that was founded in Bavaria, Germany in 1776, the same year the US signed its Declaration of Independence. And just so you know, Queen Elizabeth was born exactly 1,776 days after Prince Philip, 1776. 1 + 7 + 7 + 6 gets you your 21. 2 + 1 gets you your 3, which again is the number they're obsessed with, hence the Adidas with the 3 stripes. So the Illuminati is a name given to several groups, both real and fictitious. Historically, the name usually refers to the Bavarian Illuminati, an Enlightenment era secret society founded on May the 1st, 1776 in Bavaria, today part of Germany. So we all say all roads lead to Rome, to the Vatican. People dismiss and ignore Bavaria, Germany. Guys, who was involved in World War I, World War II? It was Germany. All right, when you think of true evil, if you ask anybody, tell me the most evil person to ever live on this planet, Adolf Hitler, they'll say. An actor, but they'll say Hitler, German. Germany, one of the best clubs in the world, if not the very best, Bayern Munich, are based in Bavaria. They're called the Bavarians. All right, the Illuminati are behind Bayern Munich. Okay? No doubt about it. So the supposed meaning behind the Adidas logos. So the stripes on the trefoil emblem symbolize the company's focus on variety. That's what they're saying, because there's multiple Adidas logos, 3 of them. While the 3 trefoil leaves, right? Remember the Adidas logo like the leaves, people like Liam and Noel Gallagher would wear, stand for the 3 parts of the world: North America, Europe, and Asia, where you can buy its products. That's what they tell us. So they always have justification for what they do. This is where they are geniuses, literally evil geniuses. They always justify what they do. They lie about it, but they justify it with things like that. So the mountain-shaped logo conveys the idea of overcoming challenges. Told you, the mountain, you got to reach the top of the mountain and pursuing your goals no matter what. And again, how beautiful does that sound? No, well, basically, it's the Illuminati pyramid. All right, you can tell us it's a mountain-shaped logo. It's clearly the Illuminati pyramid, and Adidas was founded where the Illuminati were founded. As for the round emblem, which is not as popular, it stands for the globe and fast adaptation to changes. Number 1, the globe is not round. All right, I don't want to get into that. I've told everybody that, but come on, guys. If you think that the the world is a globe, my word, why do they have globes in every single classroom? Why? Why do they really push that? So Adidas in gematria, I told you I don't often use the gematrinator, but Adidas equals 38 and 43, and Lucifer equals 38 and 43. Adolf Hitler, he owned a house in Bavaria. It got burnt down in 1945, the year that he died. So he owned a big, giant house in Bavaria. And Adolf Dassler, or Dassler, founded Adidas 98 years ago in Bavaria. Told you the Queen died 9/8. And 9 times 8 is 72. There's 72 goetic demons. That's why Pope Francis became the Pope the 72nd day of 2013. Notice how Son scored today. Been having a bad season. He finally got his goal today. He scored after 72 minutes. So Adolf Dassler's brother Rudolph, like the reindeer, which is, again, what's reindeers and Santa and Christmas trees got to do with Jesus Christ being born? People need to wake up. So Adolf's brother was called Rudolph, and he founded Puma. or Puma, depending on where you are in the world. So you got one guy come up with the concept of Adidas, and it somehow becomes the second most popular sporting brand in the world, the most popular brand in Europe. And then his brother just decides, you know what, I'm going to set up one as well. I'm going to do Puma. And then that Puma's in the top 5, isn't it? What have you got? Nike, Adidas, throw in maybe Reebok, Puma. Now you've got Under Armour, which is your 33 if you look into the symbolism. It's why Dwayne Johnson, who doesn't have a Johnson, always promotes Under Armour. He's the Brahma Bull, which connects to the beast. Don't know what other brands you have that are at that level. So these brothers just come out with it. And I'm sure they have a backdrop story. I haven't looked too deep into them. Probably came from a poor family and they were just creative geniuses. Where'd you get the backing from? Where'd you get the marketing from? No. Who knows if these people even existed? That's the beauty of it all. Who even knows if Adolf Dassler existed? So Jesse Owens, who I talked about with my live with my boy Durrell, about iconic black athletes, he won the 1933 Olympics wearing the Adidas shoes before they were popular. All right. And that's the same year Adolf Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. Remember, 1936 is when Germany hosted the Olympics, which is the year Pope Francis was born. I honestly believe, and I've said this many times now, Pope Francis is a Nazi. The whole royal family are Nazis. All right? Queen Elizabeth, Philip, all of them, they're Nazis. That's how insane this is. They're the faces of the UK and they're Nazis. It's why Prince Harry dressed up as a Nazi for Halloween. They're Nazis, and you actually look at their bloodline and really study them. They are. They are. You got Nazis literally living in palaces in England getting paid for by English people. Kappa was popular for maybe 5 years. I had those popper pants. Umbro was fairly popular. That seems to have disappeared. But again, Umbro looks like the Illuminati diamond, the logo for Umbro. I can't really think of any others that are extremely popular. You got running shoes like Asics. Asics are popular, and New Balance with running shoes. But I'm talking about thinking about sporting teams. It's pretty much Adidas and Nike that they're all sponsored by, isn't it? So I call them world-class liars with backstories, Adam. Yeah, I like that. Reebok, I told you, Reebok's very popular. When Penis and Serena Williams came on the scene, obviously all of these brands wanted to sponsor Penis Williams, and he chose Reebok. Ryan Giggs was always connected to Reebok. He could have been sponsored by anything. They give him Reebok. But yeah, Reebok is extremely popular with the UFC. Pretty much is what they're famous for now. And of course, the company will make a ton of money from merchandise from the UFC. Monster Energy, Monster in Hebrew, 666. Happy face, man. How you doing, mate? The pod logo. I remember pod. I had a pair of pods. Like, if you walk around school with a pair of pods or a pair of kickers, maybe even a pair of Lacoste shoes, felt like the bee's knees. I remember when I had my first pair of pods, walking around like I was king of the world, baby. Fila, yeah, Fila's definitely getting more popular. Fila's a brand that comes and goes, doesn't it? So I know there's a lot of girls that wear these big Fila trainers at the moment, and they're pretty cool. But again, Fila, you don't see many sport teams sponsored by Fila. It's pretty much the ones that I've said. Filher. Excellent. So again, just looking into these brands, I'm sure we could do it with all of them, like where they originated from. So I've got some phenomenal people in my community, and I'm going to read out what they found. This isn't me. This is Hans. I won't say his full name. This guy's really nice. Hans. It's not Hans Zimmer. Kasper Rosted is the current CEO of Adidas. I do take pride in telling you all about the three-worded abbreviations. I did a video about it. So CAO is Chief Executive Officer. So this name, Casper, like the ghost, Rostad, is the current CEO of Adidas. His date of birth is 2/24/62. That's interesting because 2/24 is when Russia invaded the Ukraine. It's also the date of Kobe Bryant and Gianna's memorial. They tell us it's because Gianna wore number 2 and Kobe wore 24, but it's not. It's way bigger than that with that date because it's the 55th day of the year. That's why. Satan gets you 55. In my Spurs code, I said they go to 33 points and they keep Palace on 22. Both master numbers. 33 plus 22 is 55. 55 is the 10th Fibonacci triangular number. It's why I said number 10, Harry Kane would score. So when Adolf Dassler died, 9/6/78, which is the year Kobe was born, but 9/6 for 96. Remember, Kobe was drafted in 96. Casper was 16 years, 6 months, 1 week, and 6 days. So in there, you'll see the 616, which is the alternate number of the beast. The brothers that founded Adidas, well, it was pretty much Adolf, but Rudolf worked for him, were born exactly 2 years, 222 days apart, guys. Remember that coronavirus was declared a global pandemic exactly 222 months after 9/11, because our whole reality is coded. And I always say it's up to you to decide who's coding it, but it's coded. So I always talk about 76. Rest in peace to my amazing auntie who recently died at 96, December the 11th. Rudolf Dassler died age 76 on the 216th day of his age, guys. It's the same numbers. 7 times 6 equals 42. The beast reigns for 42 months. 6 times 6 times 6 gets you 216. 21's the 6th triangular number. 6 is the number heavily connected to Satan, especially 666 is the number of the beast. So Adolf Dassler died age 77, which I rave on about. Remember, Flight 77 took off, and 77 minutes later on the 77th Meridian West brought down the Twin Towers. Talk about 77 so often. Boris Johnson, the 77th UK Prime Minister, stepped down on 7/7. There's so much for 77. And it connects to 49, which connects to Revelation and Antichrist, because 7 times 7 is 49. So Dassler, the founder of Adidas, Adolf, on the 44th week of his age, guys, gone. 44th week of his age at age 77. Got the 4 horsemen. 4 is associated with death in Asia, I've told you. Seen 44s all over the place. We're going to see mass death this year. They're showing us all these stars. I'll try and do a video tomorrow. Oh, no, I can't. I've got the day with Kenya. But I'll go through the whole list of players in the last 18 months who've gone down with heart injuries, cardiac arrests, whatever it is. I'll go through them all, and it's going to blow your mind, maybe in a negative way. I want to read this quote from Chuck. He had Lecce to beat Lazio. It finished 2-1. I told you the 21's big. Illuminati found his 1776. 1 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6 is 21. 21's big. But anyway, Lecce last beat Lazio 7/7, 2020. 911 days to today. 7/7, like Flight 77 that hit the 77-foot tall Pentagon located in the 77th Meridian West. Pentagon construction began 9/11/41. Yes, guys, the construction for the Pentagon began 9/11 and then came down exactly 60 years later on 9/11. Lecce manager Marco Baroni, born 9/11/63, 22 years after. That master number, the master builder number, guys. I've told you 2022 was just building towards destroying our economy this year. And so be it. Bring it on. Bring it on. There were 19 9/11 hijackers. Today's date leaves 361 days left in the year, and 19 times 19 is 361, guys. And Remembrance Day was first honored in 1919. Sarri got his 19th loss for Lazio. Lecce and Gematria is 19. Sarri's birthday is 110. Just know that the Twin Towers had 110 floors. I told you that's why Germany went out of the World Cup with 225 points, because 22 times 5 is 110. Germany went out in a huge 9/11 World War II ritual. If you read my book, my mind-blowing World Cup book, you'll see all of this and you'll learn all of this and you'll be able to code at a high level, not just to win money, to see through the illusion of this world, which is way more significant than winning a bit of money. So like me coding today, Spurs to win, Kane to score. Yes, it put money in people's pockets, but how amazing is it that you can literally see that this world's coded? It's mind-blowing. So today's date's 4/1, or it can be written 4/1, the 4th of January. And again, the Pentagon construction began in 41. 41's the 13th prime. Baroni stayed on 13 losses for Lecce. The 13th try is 91. It's why I'm saying this on top of my head. Messi came into the 2022 FIFA World Cup with 91 all-time goals for Argentina. Maradona played 91 games for Argentina, where he scored 34 goals. 91's the 13th triangular number. And why do you think Messi has 13 World Cup goals? Again, you'll see the significance of the number 13 in my World Cup book. So the score ended 2-1. First there were 2 towers, now there's 1. So this is the stuff you get to read on my website. Chuck is exceptional. He has a Patreon. He only charged $5. Told you no one in this community hits every code. But what I take pride in and what he should take pride in is every single code that we post, you learn something super significant. And more often than not, you know, with my hit rate, it's exceptional. But even if it misses, you learn a ton. All right? And you do with his codes. He's an amazing guy. So a guy called Waking on my website told me this. The swoosh Nike comes from the planet Saturn. Look at the rings of Saturn. That is where we get the swoosh from. Again, he's shown the image on my website. Saturn's got, obviously, it's a circle and it's got the ring around it and it looks like the Nike sign. All right, Saturn connected to Satan. We know Pope Francis, the false prophet, was born on Saturnalia, which has 7 rings, just like Brady. That's why I don't think he wins again. But he might. I don't think he does. So when only the side front of the rings are visible, we get the swoosh. Or it's half the rings if you see both sides. Again, think about Lord of the Rings. How many of them have there been? 3? Somebody let me know about that. I don't know enough. But as far as I'm aware, there have only been 3 Lord of the Rings. Again, these NBA players, they get rings. NFL players, they get rings. It's Saturn worship. So if you see both sides, nothing but the symbol of Saturn in plain sight. Saturn represents Satan, like all planet names do. Like all corporate logos, they have occult hidden meaning in plain sight. It's bang on. It's bang on. And then there's somebody in my community called Casey, who, I don't say this about many people. I think this Casey is a genius. I think she is a genius, or he. I think it's a she. So she uses different ciphers to me, but her knowledge of the Bible is unbelievable. There's a guy now called Marco who can basically recite the whole Bible word for word. I think still he is the guy. I'm like, wow. But Casey, so she said, the Bavarian order of the Illuminati equals 1773 in Jewish. I believe the year Weishaupt took over from the Jesuits. Also 155 and 187. Society of Jesus gets you 187. 155 is a huge date. Operation Warp Speed was on 15/5, the 15th of May. Claydex was the 15th of May. Brady won Super Bowl 55. The Bucks were 15-5 that season. Coronavirus in Gematria is 155. Big number. So she said, Bavarian Order of the Illuminati and Bacon's equals 287. The Rosicrucian seal 413, mirror of pi, and 666 in the modern K, where G equals 33. The G they're obsessed with also is 7, because it's the 7th letter of the alphabet. The G in Freemasonry, but we see it everywhere. It's why that knobhead who everyone's asking me about, Tate, calls himself the Big G or whatever he calls himself. They started to spread by joining the Masons for the first 3 degrees, then making up their own Illuminati degrees and only accepting the Illuminati novices, called the Minerval level. I watched a documentary about the Illuminati and how they were founded. I don't know if it's legit, but Adam Weishaupt, the genius, if he existed behind the Illuminati, he basically got a group of guys, highly intelligent academic guys, and he said, right, I want you all to join all the other secret societies, all right? And then get all their information, bring it back to me. And we're going to steal it and we're going to put it all together. And that would make a ton of sense if that's what happened. And then they had the highest level, the truly illuminated members of society. And then they hid that occult knowledge from everybody else. And that's what's going on now. Those who are members of this order are mocking the masses who are unaware of symbolism, unaware of gematria, unaware of date durations, unaware of pretty much anything of great significance because they're distracted living in the matrix. But now they can't mock me, these people. All right? I ruin them every day. I call out what they're going to do before they do it. So they can't mock me anymore. And I didn't have to join a secret society. All right? I have been given this gift from God. All right, I didn't have to sign up to a secret society, all right, and take part in rituals and get bummed, whatever else they do, to join these fraternities. So Weishaupt kept the goddess Minerva and her owl. We know about the owl symbolism. Why do they call it the Super Bowl? It's the superb owl, all right, because the owl is wise and the owl can see in the dark. An owl can see in the dark. So a very wise animal is the owl. The feminine number of the Vesica Pisces again. Owl of Minerva equals 153. That's the 17th triangular number. Francis Bacon had Athena, the spear shaker, took that from his name, William Shakespeare. People believe that Francis Bacon was Shakespeare. It would make sense. I don't believe one guy wrote Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. I think there's demons behind this, in my opinion. Like, again, why Shakespeare? Why was he pushed so heavily? Why was the first man to supposedly get vaccinated called William Shakespeare? And he was born in Coventry, just like the playwright. Come on. Put Shakespeare in King James Bible of 1611. Psalm 46 has shake 46 words in it. Just know that 46 connects to 666 because 46 is 66.6%. And that's why LeBron James won't win another, or he won't even play in another NBA Finals. And for Athena equals 47, spear 47 from the end. In modern King James Version, spear dropped the E for spear. Yeah, that's why you've got your Britney Spears as well, whose full name gets you 201. She's in my book, my World Cup book, Britney Spears, in connection with Brittany Griner, in connection with Argentina winning the World Cup, how synced it all is. Athena is also Minerva. The owl of Athena equals 153. 153 is huge with Jesus when you read about the story of the fish. As Jesus the fisherman. The ship Minerva Nike had the owl next to the name equals 929. Got stuck in the Suez Canal equals 846 around the George Floyd incident. Wow. Because they changed the timing of him, didn't they? He got knelt on supposedly for 8 minutes, 46 seconds, which is the same time the Twin Towers came down. And then they changed it to 929, which is the 158th prime. And the Society of Jesus were founded 1508. At least that's what they tell us. So again, the whole George Floyd incident, I've done maybe there is this amazing woman. Let me explain why she's just super chatted me here. I'll explain it. I'm glad that she managed to do this. So I can say her first name. There's many people in the world that have this name. There's a woman in my community called Lynn. And she said, "Hello, I would love your book. I do not have PayPal. Please let me know how to purchase a copy." I won't say where she's from. "I'm a new subscriber and I love your mind-blowing information. Thank you for all you do for our community. God bless you for your passion and encouragement." So I just said, thank you for support. Thank you for your support. It means a lot. Unfortunately, I can only receive money via PayPal. If you don't want to set one up, I will figure out sending you the book for free, or you can send me a super chat on YouTube, which only requires a card. So I won't go into all the back and forth conversations, but I was willing to give her the book for free. Then I thought, you know what? It was Maverick, the Indian guy, who gave me the idea of anyone who doesn't have PayPal, if they really want the book, they can super chat me. And if they can't do that, which everyone with a bank card can super chat, there's no denying that in any nation because I've looked into it, I would have sent her the book. And I sent her the book before the super chat. She didn't have to super chat me. She could have just taken the book and gone, all right, I'll take this book. She didn't have to do that with the super chat. So that's why when you trust people, like that Net Void who had a dig at me because I invited her to stay at my parents' house in a spare room. If you trust people, great. Most people go through their life not trusting people because they've watched too many scary movies, or they watch the mainstream media and everyone's a serial killer or a rapist. You know what I mean? That pretty much started the mid-90s, I think, where parents were a little bit worried about, oh, it's getting dark now. You don't know who's on the streets. You better come home. You know what I mean? I think I was about 14, 15 when that started happening. Prior to that, like, my parents had so much faith that I was out on the street. I was all good. The street was literally 2 minutes away from my house. But then they started all these movies and serial killers and even stuff like Scream, movies like Scream. By the way, Scream 6 is going to be released on what would have been Osama bin Laden's 66th birthday. I'll have to do a video about that. 666. Scream 6 is being released on bin Laden's 66th birthday, which is this year. Born 310, as far as I'm aware. Let me double check actually with bin Laden. I'm pretty sure it's that date. Oh, March the 10th. Scream 6 is going to be released March the 10th on what would have been bin Laden's 66th birthday. It's all coded, guys. Foo Fighters movie studio 666, and then their drummer dies right after. Whether you believe it or not, that's what they're showing us. Kathy is in the building. I can't wait to start reading. It just needs some beach time. Kathy, again, just a wonderful woman. She's got the book. I said to her, what I love about Kathy is this. She's direct and she speaks her mind. But she's super nice, very caring and generous. But she don't want to get involved, or she don't agree with something, or she don't like something, she tells you. So I asked her, I said, are you interested in checking out my World Cup book? And she basically said, no, I don't really want to be reading it. Like, I don't know really anything about football. I'm not really interested. I was like, to be fair, Kathy, like, there's so much information in this book that's going to teach you how the universe is coded and the most important sacred numbers within it. I said the World Cup codes are just like to put it all together. And she was like, okay, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. So she'll read that whenever she gets time. I knew if I just brought out a book talking about football, my audience would be limited. Yes, it's the most popular sport in the world, the most watched sport in the world. But if I would have just focused and put in my codes for the games, that's not enough. I know that now. It's not enough. When I'm talking about Adidas and the origin of Adidas, like, young children can watch this. Grown adults, like in their 70s, can watch this and go, wow. Guys, girls, don't matter about your sexuality, your religious beliefs, your ethnicity, all that nonsense. It's like, okay, we all know what Adidas is. This guy's pretty interesting. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make my work. That's why I talk about so many things. Although Hubbard said all I do is obsess over coding sports, it really is comical. It's comical to say that about me. I talk about everything, it seems. Kathy, by the way, the other day took me out for tacos. These fantastic tacos. Shrimp tacos were the best, weren't they, Kathy? Shrimp with a bit of cheese. Baby. They were really good. Yeah, Foo Fighters, The Great Pretender. All right. And I've told you, FF is 66. You've got to look into these bands and their logos. And I would say when it comes to like these bands, you can look into the gematria of them because they're not coming up with the name of the brands at all. But the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl must have some demon inside of her. Being the drummer of Nirvana and then the lead singer of Foo Fighters, that guy's been going almost 40 years at the top. Maybe not 40 years, I'm exaggerating. How old's Dave Grohl now? Because he came on the scene super, super, super young. It's minimum 20 years if you include Nirvana and the Foo Fighters. Let me look at how old that Dave Grohl is. He's either younger than I think or older than I think. 53, yeah. Yeah, he probably came on the scene around 17, didn't he? Really young. Right, he's been present in the music industry since the year I was born, 86, so 36 years. He's been on the scene. With Nirvana, Foo Fighters. He was with Nirvana from, I think, 1990 and 94, like 4 years with them. But he was doing his own thing before. And he's been with the Foo Fighters. They formed, I know that for a fact. I studied the Foo Fighters before I even knew about this knowledge. They came on the scene 1994, the Foo Fighters. I've seen them live. I thought they were absolutely remarkable. I'm not going to lie, but I think that Dave Grohl's got a demon inside of it. Jamie Potter has a PayPal. I'll get your book soon. I'm in the middle of moving. Well, okay. Good luck with your moving. I know moving can be stressful. Hopefully you've got friends behind you that'll help you do that. Again, it depends on if you're moving by yourself, if you've got a big family, if you're going from a different city. Moving for me wasn't that challenging. I gave everything to my ex-wife. So all I was moving was my clothes and stuff like that. Wasn't much else that I actually owned myself. So I just gave her everything. Van Dyke doesn't have a dick. Yeah, Van Dyke. I've told you Dyke's another term for lesbian. Virgil van Dijk. I don't care how big Virgil van Dijk is. Look at Brittany Griner. Have you heard Brittany Griner speak, guys? Blatantly a man, but if this is Brittany Griner. So, hey, Brittany, how do you think the game went today with Phoenix? Well, to be fair, I thought I did well, to be honest. Like 42 points, solid showing. I had a cracking game, to be fair. Cheers. Brittany Griner speaks like that. I ain't exaggerating. And people just can't have it. She's a woman because she plays in the WNBA. That's their logic. She has to be a woman. She plays in the WNBA. Give me a break. Look at the build of this person. Listen to the voice. Has no breasts at all. Has no hips. As an Adam's apple. No, yeah, but she plays in the WNBA. And then how can it be a guy? The name's Brittany Adam. Okay. I'm not exaggerating. That's how Griner sounds. And it's sick that people are not angry by it, because we don't want to get angry. So that's what Satan wants. He wants our energy through anger. Sometimes it's good to be angry, I think, but don't want to just constantly be angry. But it sometimes makes me go, wow, when people see Brittany Griner and dismiss it. Yeah, pretty masculine looking. Okay, I'll give you that, Adam, but come on, it's blatantly a woman. You're a bit crazy. I'm crazy? Oh, right, I'm crazy. The beer guy's been to Glastonbury 5 times. The best festival I ever went to was Leeds Festival. Again, you've got to be careful with these festivals, energy harvesting. They are fun, though. My word, when I went to Leeds Festival, I saw Kings of Leon headlined. I saw Florence and the Machine. Florence is a blatant man. Who else were playing? Placebo were there. Foo Fighters were there. Kaiser Chiefs were playing. It was an insane lineup. Who else did they have there? I think there might have even been Linkin Park. They had so many incredible bands playing. It was like a 3-day event. So I love music festivals. I'm into all that. Like, there's actually a festival going on in Mexico City in March. The Killers are headlining it. I was tempted to go. Blink 182 are going to be there. Where are you? Girl, I'm so sorry. Like, they love the Masonic black and white, didn't they? Blink 182, they still do. Your 182 is your 11, by the way. In numerology, 1 + 8 + 2. They're very sneaky. Blink 182, basically Blink 11. Oh, thank you very much, Plain Decoded. My Bulls astrology prediction vid had 8:55 p.m. highlighted. It was before the game was a significant time. I just made a review video on it with my thoughts. All right, guys, can you check out Plain Decoded? Check out his work. We should all be supporting each other. Anyone who's actually in this for the right reasons, to try and reveal deception and wake people up. Check him out. That's incredible stuff. And I want to talk about the Bulls just very briefly. In the US, you call it like a dollar bill, don't you? A $5 bill, $10 bill, $20 bill. I'll check that out later, Plain Decoded. I've got an English class soon, but I'll check it out. the bill, and I'm telling you, the economy is going to collapse. I said in particular the US dollar and the pound. The pound's already on its way down. The dollar's about to crash this year. So a bill, like a dollar bill, you had number 3 collapse. I don't think for a second that was genuine now after the heavy research. The reason I wasn't saying that when I did my live stream about it is I didn't know enough about it. I didn't look into it. Then I see number 33 was the only player who didn't kneel. Why are they all kneeling around this guy? All right, connects to George Floyd. There's something with the kneeling. It's mockery. But yeah, the Bills player collapsed. Like the bill's going to collapse. The dollar bill's going to collapse. So it's all really interesting, guys. Don't let that worry you. All right, you don't have to panic about it all. The majority of the world are going to get affected by it. I did a video yesterday where they've already told us a minimum of a third of the world is going to be experiencing a recession this year, the worst in the history, which I said would happen a year and a half ago in 2023. So they're already telling us where the world's going because they know. I don't know if it's through the algorithm or whatever it is, or the demons, or history repeats itself, astrology. I don't know how they know, but they know. They always tell us where the world's going if you're smart enough to pay attention. And that's why all these people are dropping dead or having cardiac arrest, whether they are or whether they're not, they're telling you where the world's going to go soon, with people actually having cardiac arrest and dropping dead. They tell you. It's already revealed before it happens. So this illusion guy never responded to my email after paying a month of subscription. I never ignore emails, mate. Do you know how many people? There was one guy recently who said that they signed up to me and they cancelled by accident and said, can you send me the $10 back? And I said, yeah, done. I send people $10 back all the time. Send me an email now, mate, because I don't hold grudges. I don't know why you're saying this about me. I don't know if it's legit. Send me an email now. Show me that you paid $10 and that you didn't access my website. I'll give you $10. I'll give you 11 if you want. And I'll send you a love emoji, a heart emoji. I ain't the guy to ignore people over $10, bro. At all. So, come on, mate. Jamie Potter, thank you very much. Would love to get my hands on one of your books, mate. Right. Jamie Potter, I'll send you it. I need your email address, Jamie. Email me. Say that it's Jamie Potter. I'll send you the book right now. This is my email address. Guys, I've had over 300 people purchase this book. I was aiming for 1,000. I'm not sure I'm going to get there at this point, but I should with the quality of the book, maybe word of mouth. Email me right now, bro. I'll send you the book. I know not everywhere in the world has PayPal. I've looked into it. Loads of nations don't. I'll send you it. I just need you to email me. Otherwise, I have no way of knowing who to send it to. And the other guy who wants $10, email me. I'll send you $10. Even if you're bullshitting me, I'll send you $10 to prove a point. Because I don't worry too much about $10 without being big time, because I ain't rich. But I don't worry about $10. The last Added Herc final was on George Floyd Day. Going to be Black Shaman event in 2023. Champions League final similar to Euros. Look out for the upcoming Champions League final to go to penalties and once again witness black players miss. Just like we had in the France-Argentina final and the England-Italy final. It was the black players that missed the penalties. For England, all of them were black, and all the French players that missed were black. I think this Champions League final is going to penalties. What's the most Masonic music genre? It could be rap. It could be rap, to be honest. Yeah, I would say the rap music industry is extremely Masonic if you look at the videos and the symbolism behind it. All of these rappers, your Snoop, your Dre, your Jay-Z, your Eminem, they're all owned by little Satanists. I'm not going to say Jews because I don't know, just little Satanists. Satanic Masons. I told you there's a big difference between a Freemason and a Satanic Freemason. There's a big difference between a Jesuit and a Satanic Jesuit. Being a Jesuit doesn't make you evil or a scumbag at all. Being a Satanic one does. NetVoid told me you can't be a truth seeker if you don't make videos, so that would take out most of Hubbard's followers. I think you can contribute in other ways if you aren't into videos. To say that you can help this so-called community, I don't like the community aspect, like in the sense of the community. Like, I think it's a trap. People take advantage of people, like Hubbard took advantage of people by promoting the so-called community that he promised that he would create, which he never did. You can have a huge say in getting out this information without having a YouTube channel or a website or a Patreon. Of course you can. Kathy did so much for Zach. All right. So NetVoid's saying, oh, unless you show your face, you're a nobody. Again, Gematria, what's his name, who does the videos about Zach? Forgot it. Sports Gematria, whose videos are phenomenal. He doesn't have to show his face. You're not a coward as well. If you don't want to show your face, you have free will. You don't have to do it. If you're the guy on Twitter who's sharing amazing stuff, there's a guy called Decoding Oz, who we go back and forth with in good ways. We've never had an argument. I think he's one of the very best. His name's Decoding Oz, if you want to follow his Twitter. He doesn't know I'm doing this. I don't even know if he watches my stuff. I think he's exceptional. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know where he was born. I don't know anything about his family. I don't care. I judge him off the information that he puts out. So Kathy, don't have somebody say, well, if you don't show your face and have a YouTube channel, you're doing nothing for the community. It's laughable. Every person you've donated to in this community, you probably donated thousands of dollars of your own money to help people in this community. We all have different ways of doing it. I have the gift of the gab. I can talk and I have the gift of coding. Not everybody can do this and go live and just talk and hold an audience. It's not easy. There's so many things. All right, think about a Hollywood movie. You focus on the actors, you focus on the directors, then you've got the extras, but then you've got people walking around like handing people drinks, you've got people doing the lighting, you've got all sorts of stuff going on. You've got people working within the cafeteria. For it all to work out, you've got the security. It needs a team. Obviously, who gets the most attention? It's the actors. It's your Brad Pitts, your George Clooney's, your Angelina Jolie's. They get all eyes on them. But there's so much going on in the background with people who get involved and help to make the movie. It's not just the actors. They don't just turn up and that's it. Read a script. So much more to it. People have so-called starring roles. I guess I have a starring role within this community. Not that I care about having it, but I do because I have a lot of gifts to share and I share them more often than not for free. YouTube's all for free. Email sent. All right, Jamie, Jamie Potter, here it is. I'm about to send you it and just confirm that you've received it. Give me a second. There it is. I'll say this is my pride and joy, this book. I've done a lot of work, a lot of codes, a lot of futures, revealed a lot of deception. My pride and joy is this book. How would you like to be remembered, Illusion, for your work? My World Cup book, please. My World Cup book. Read that. That's how I want to be remembered. Read that book. All the other stuff I've done, great. Read that book. So let me know that you've got it. I fell for Gematria bait today. What did you fall for? Told you Gematria is a small aspect of coding the reality. It's definitely important, but people don't actually know what Gematria is and Jewish mysticism. It's important to an extent. So tell me how you fell for it. I'm intrigued. How you fell for it, because you've got to learn from your mistakes. It's part of life. All right, it's just part of life. You learn from it. Just got to try and ensure you don't do it again. Tell me how you fell for it, and I'll see if I can help you. Your work is amazing. Thank you. I see you. Happy Woo Year. Happy Woo Year, baby. All right. I can't wait to go live on April the 1st. I may be in England then. If I am, I'm 100% buying Divine Feminine Living UK, a coffee and a pastry. All right. For the support she's given me. That's my goal. That's my goal. invert Shane Ward, was it? How do I remember this stuff? I think he won an X Factor or a Pop Idol or something. But my aim's to get back in April. My best friend Nathan sent me $7 for the book today. He said, hey, I'll read your book, but this is to get you back home. You better get back home. He wants to go on a night out in Manchester. We have the same taste in music, the exact same taste in music. Adam, UK or US, where did you feel more happy? Just different stages of my life. You know what I mean? I had an amazing upbringing in England, very fortunate with my family. I would say I was happiest in the US. I'm getting paid money to play and coach football. I'm living in a beautiful climate. All these girls are obsessed with my accent. I've met loads of new friends. Just new experiences. Probably happiest in the US. I was going out like 4 nights a week, partying with my friends and just playing football. Like, or coaching football, things that I would do for free. England was, I loved school. I was a big fan of school. University, I loved. And then I would say, like, when I became like a full-blown adult, teaching PE in the school and playing for semi-professional football teams, that was fun, but it was kind of like really felt like work. When I was out in the US kicking a ball around and getting paid for it, never felt like work in the US for me. Now I'm doing what I'm doing. It is exhausting coding. It really is exhausting, and the expectation that people have for me and what they expect from me can be tiring. I need a break every now and again. I am going to go out of my way to get better at finding the odd day off for me, so I don't have to work 7 days a week on this website. I've chosen to do that. There's no contractual agreement where I promise I'll work 7 days and code 7 days a week. I do it usually out of love and passion. But like, for example, tomorrow I'm going to be with Kenya from 10 a.m. all day because she gets 1 day off a week. She recently had one on Sunday. I spent the whole day with her. I put out all my NFL codes. They all hit, but I did it the day before. I didn't look at a computer on Sunday. I need that. You know what I mean? Because there's more to life than me just coding the universe. And there's some phenomenal coders now. I know when I'm away for a few days or a day on my website, there's literally hundreds of people on my website now who can bang a code like that, or put some information or share a video. I'm getting chills now thinking about people on my website because the different level of knowledge, the variety of knowledge that's shared on that platform. I'm just blessed that I'm the supposed leader of it, which I wouldn't have without Gabriel, by the way, at all. So yeah, I've got to be careful of burning out. It's happened to me a few times, but I always push through it. But sooner or later, maybe I won't be able to, and I'll get zapped. And then it's not going to be good for you guys if I'm gone for a few weeks, like genuinely full-blown sick from exhaustion. So again, I told you I was about to take a nap, and I thought no, because there's an amazing girl who I promised I'd do a live stream today and get her the book, Lynn, and I've done that. And she told me, I'm excited for your live stream. I was like, I have to do it then. I got to do it. There's a guy on BitChute with his dog Lucy who moved to Mexico and makes videos from there. The Dollar Vigilante, he is wide awake. Just so you know, it seems like there's a lot of amazing coders in Mexico. For whatever reason, maybe it's the energy, or maybe it's just our journey was to get us here, because it's not Mexicans, it's people who've moved to Mexico like myself. Mexico is an enormous country. So when people tell me, do you know Santos is in Mexico? Do you hang out with him? Mexico's huge. Do you know Decode Your Reality lives in Mexico? I'm aware of it. Do I know where he lives? No. Do I care? No. It's a huge country. It's not like England. So just because they live here, it's not like we live next door to each other. I probably wouldn't want to meet either of them, to be honest, but yeah, I definitely won't go out of my way. If they asked me to meet them, I would, but I would definitely not go out of my way to meet them. I told you I'm not really that type of guy. It often has to be somebody has to ask me. Hey, I'm coming to this. Do you want to hang out? Yeah, sure. 99% of the time I say yes. I very rarely am the guy who goes up and asks other people. Like, I'm not going to email Santos, hey, I'm the Illusion. Check out my videos. I'm pretty good at this. Let's meet up. I'm not going to fanboy. I refuse to fanboy anybody. You're in New Mexico? All right, so that's in the US, isn't it? He'll take you to the astrology level. I understand that. His level of astrology is outstanding, and that is an area of development for me. But there's a fine line, like, if you gather so much information, you can overcomplicate it. You don't want too many things on your plate, you know what I mean? Where it just becomes a mess. I feel like there's definitely huge rooms of improvement for me in many different aspects. But until things just start going bad for me, like the way I do my work is successful. I've told you my motto is, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But I am intrigued in astrology. I think the guy I love the most is Rambo when it comes to how he presents his work on astrology, where it's like, wow, okay, I can't really argue with what you've presented. Wow. And I am supposed to be doing a live stream with Rambo because we approach it differently, but together we're almost unstoppable. We're tag team champions if you put Rambo and I together. We coded Leicester to win the FA Cup before it began a few years ago together. I remember we'd go back and forth. It's like, wow, because that adds to what I've just found. What did you find? Well, I found this with King Richard. Well, yeah, I found this about Jamie Richard Vardy. Oh my goodness, wow. Okay, let's go. I'll get back to you tomorrow. That was fun. That was two detectives. And was there an element of money in it for me? Yeah, because I bet on Leicester. Won a lot of money on them winning the FA Cup. But now doing that, I would still do that with that level of passion and energy, and I don't bet. Because it's fun. It's fun being a detective. I've told you that as well. People said, what would you do if you want a footballer or a coach or whatever? I said, I would have loved to have been a detective, criminal detective. I used to love all law and order and all of that. Solving crimes. I always had I love solving things, solving problems, solving crime. Well, I've never solved a crime, but doing what I do within this community, I am somewhat of a detective, aren't I? Like, I had to do so much research into Adidas. It's like a detective. Anytime you're getting information together and you're researching it and then you're analyzing your findings, pretty much, is that not what a detective is? I remember first seeing Santos when he met Logan in California. Learned so much in that video. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that I have not learned a ton from Santos and from Decoji Reality. Decoji Reality, I find it very hard to watch his videos and the way he presents them. For me, I told you this, it's opinion. Not dismissing his information. And when it comes to Santos, again, a lot of the stuff that he said, I agree with. But I won't go out of my way to meet him. Just, again, that's my personality. Might happen. If I end up meeting him, it happens. I hope it's organic. Like, we're just randomly both in the middle of Mexico City and we find each other in a bar. I'm like, wait, are you Santos? Yeah, yes, brother, I'm Santos. I'm the Illusion, mate. Let's have a chat. Oh, okay. What have you got for me? And I'd probably blow his mind because I can do things that he can't do and he can do things I can't do. Shall I have a word or leave it to you? I've told you I ain't going to message Santos. If you're intrigued to do it and you want me to speak with him, I'd do it, but I ain't going to do it. Rambo is the guy who calls into Zach's TFR show. His videos are the truth codes. Yeah, he does. I hope he stops doing that because he doesn't need Zach anymore. But Rambo's loyal, faithful, and he has a soft spot for Zach. So it's his choice, but Rambo is exceptional, truly exceptional at what he does. Chigozi is amazing at what he does. I think he's a bit downhearted at the moment, but Chigozi is a phenomenal human being who, again, what he did differently to anyone else in this community was he would literally go live, be a freestyler, and literally say, right, let's go on CNN News. And I'm going to decode all the headlines right now to show you that it's all coded. The only negative I would say about Chigozie, the only one, and he might have some about me. The only one is it's a bit too much on the Jesuits. I think that's from Zach, but he does back up his numbers. But I just don't think everything's the Jesuits. I think the Jesuits have infiltrated the code, and they're being almost used by Satan. That's how I see it. But the way he could just go to a headline and go, right, it's like, oh my goodness. He'd just do it. I told you, Chigozie and myself, we're like freestylers. Give us a microphone, we'll freestyle. There's other people like Chuck is an amazing coder, amazing. And I said, mate, let's do a live and we'll talk. You can just present your codes. I'll promote you. He said, well, I'm going to need to put together a lot of stuff. I can't just go live like you. So we all have our different strengths. I can just hit the live button and talk. This whole live was about Adidas. I pretty much talked about Adidas for 15 minutes. The other 55 minutes, I've talked about all sorts of stuff. Not many people can do that. That's the reality. Like 6079 Smith, his codes are exceptional. Unbelievable, but can he do videos to present them? It's not easy for everybody. 20035 days Hitler to Adidas. 20035 is downtown DC. Oh my goodness. And remember, the founder of Adidas' first name was Adolf, like Hitler's first name. I mean, Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany in 1933, guys. 33. Look at the Nazi symbolism and what it represents. And then you'll see it everywhere. Chigozie Truth, don't thank me, man. Thank you for putting in the work for years and for being 100% genuine. So genuine. Chigozie is so genuine. And yeah, there's not many truly genuine people in this world that we live in. Bro, have you taken a look at 322? It's everywhere. Yeah, I know all about 322, but it mainly syncs to the number 7. Again, in numerology, it's 7. But yeah, I've done all sorts with 322. They don't just give them that order 322 for no reason. It's not random why they chose 322. Okay? It's not. Yeah, I love that from Chris. Yale 1701 is 322 years ago, bro. Yeah, Yale, Skull and Bones, connected, the Bush family. Just messaged him, buddy. One-on-one, he'll blow your mind and you'll blow his. What exactly did you message him, be a guy? Just time to check out my channel. I'm sure he'll be intrigued. I'd love to talk to him about the calendar, the Gregorian calendar. I would definitely go live and speak to him about that. Don't think Santos decodes sports, does he? He don't often talk about gematria. He's more into astrology. And again, you know what I say about me? I'm very cocky and can come across as arrogant. I think he's the same. And I'm complimenting him with that. He's cocky and arrogant. He knows his stuff. He could stand in front of billions of people and give a speech because he's got that much belief in what he says. Loads of people are going to tell you Santos is a Jesuit, he's part of the Illuminati, he does this, he's done this symbolism, he says that, he knows too much. Again, let them say whatever they want. Use your discernment. Listen. I think Divine told me this. Somebody told me that. Kathy told me this. Listen, learn, discern. It's beautiful. Listen, learn, discern. Listen, hopefully you learn something from it and discern what you believe is actually believable and what isn't, or what's actually going to benefit you, and take it. So with Santos, there's some stuff I listen to him, I'm like, you're raving on here, you're kind of annoying me now. Other times I'm like, wow, that's all right. Geez, I've never heard anyone say that. And the way that you've just said it has made me go, wow, thank you. So it might be with me. You might listen to me and think, wow. Other times you might be like, don't know what he's on about there. I don't really agree with him there. And that's fine. Sweep it under the rug, baby. Was 823 on Kobe's first game and Kobe was born 823. That's wild. The stuff that you find, mate, it is wild. Wow. Why do they use gematria? I think God communicates with us through letters and numbers. Well, particular numbers. And for whatever reason, they've become aware of that. It's been revealed to them, and instead of using the code to benefit the world, they've used it to benefit themselves and not destroy the world, but just use it against humanity. They've used this knowledge for their own benefit and used it against us. And they don't want us to get this information. That's why they don't teach geometry at schools. I don't know how geometry is not being taught at school. Math and English should be one. It should be one. It should be the same class. Math and English. It's letters and numbers. They're so connected. But they've not done that. They've not done that, have they? We know science is heavily connected to math in many ways, but they never tell you English is. Music is so connected to math. I think everything's connected to math when you actually break it down. Information technology is all math. Pretty much everything is math. Reality is math. There you go. There you go. Yeah, reality is math. It is. Geometry should be in schools, but they'll tell you it's the occult or it's Jewish mysticism, or yeah, they won't put it in schools. And there's a reason for that. Because it's divine. It's sacred. Everything they're giving us at school is not divine or sacred. It's pretty much lies. There's some stuff that benefit you. School's not completely a waste of time. It's not. There's a lot of things you can learn, and the social skills that you get through school is amazing. But in general, the things that they're teaching you are not essential in life and are not sacred. And it's just to keep you at a certain level. That's the reality of it. It doesn't mean school's necessarily evil. The system is. Schools are not. The teachers are not. The students are not. Sound is everything. Sound is light. Yeah, frequency, energy, vibration all connects to sound. Schools conform us to the prison system and teach alchemy 100%. To be a good slave. Can I go to the restroom, Mr. Adam? Yeah, sure. I remember I got to the point where I told my students, guys, you don't have to ask me if you go to the restroom. If you're not back in 5 minutes, I'm going to get somebody to go and give you a little heads up. I said, don't ask me to go to the restroom. Really? Yeah, you don't have to ask me. You're not 3 years old. Go. If you're obviously going 7, 8 times in a class, I'll be like, I'll call the nurse then. I'll call the nurse. There's obviously something not right. You might need to go home if you need. So I knew how to speak with students, but yeah, it's alchemy at schools. It is making people just smart enough to do a basic job. Some people will set up their own business and will have what we call success and make a lot of money within the system. They have to provide that to give people hope. To justify people spending all this money going to university and college, all right? It's what they do. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. Your experience at the school is not evil, but the system is 100%, Patrick. That's what I just said. I've told you the world's not evil, the system is. The system's evil. It's satanic. The world's not evil. The system is. Those who've come up with the concept of this system and social constructs are evil. The world isn't evil. It's not. Don't ever tell yourself that. Single-digit numbers, when drawn their original way, have a number of angles corresponding to the number they are supposed to represent. Angles, angels. Yeah, I've mentioned that. Angles and angels. It's an anagram. It's divine. Numbers are divine. Angels are divine. Angles, angels. How many people make that spelling mistake? Oh, I've just spelled angels like angles. What's incredible, my mate Hurricane, Stephen Henderson, we gave each other names because we were high-level pool players, snooker players, mainly pool. Snooker's far harder, but pool. I had my own pool table. So he's a phenomenal pool player, darts player, ping pong player, snooker player. So we would have this like mini Olympics. Great golfer as well. And his nickname was the Hurricane because when he would play pool or snooker, when he got in the zone, You're like Ronnie O'Sullivan. You know, Ronnie O'Sullivan's the Rocket. So my mate, Stephen Henderson, the Hurricane, he'd go around the table I'm like, chill out, mate. Give me a shot. We both could do that. We could 7-ball each other multiple times. But he'd go around so quick. So I was like, bloody hell, Hurricane. And that became his name. And I was like really good at getting out of snookers or snookering people. All right. It used to frustrate people. Really frustrated them. But I love psychology. I'm like, all right, if I'm frustrating them here, it's going to affect them. I'm going to get in the head. I always wanted to get in the head of my opponent, whatever it was. People said it at ping pong. Oh, you don't even hit it hard. You never go for the match-winning shot. But I always hit it over. I always waited for them to make a mistake. You're not even good. Well, I've just beat you 4 games in a row again. Yeah, but you're not even good. Okay, then neither are you. So he gave me the nickname Angles because I was so good at snookers and getting out of snookers. So now you're talking about angles and angels. And obviously I'm into math, which I never cared about. My nickname's Angles, only to him. He calls me Angles, I call him Hurricane. And then I've coded Harry Kane. It's wild. He sent me a video yesterday of that Smith getting a 9-darter. Much love to my bro Thomas Lockwood. He bet on the 9-darter 12-1. It was the first 9-darter of the tournament. I was talking on that live stream about 74 and how it connects to the book of Revelation. And then Gerwin loses 7-4 in the final on the same day. I talk about 74 and how big that is. He lost 7-4. It was like 1-4 favourite or something to win it, and he lost. Because favourites don't always win, do they? So houses were built for banks to make contracted even as house owner, get school, get a job, and get a mortgage. Yeah, mortgage, a morgue connects to death. Never, ever buy a house again. I've told you all, if you're in the chat and you're young, don't buy a house thinking it's the right thing to do. You're going to get ruined. All right, you'll get ruined. I know there's some sort of so-called stability to owning your own house, but I would not invest now when the economy is going to absolutely crash. Can't reach a snooker table too short unless I wear heels and then still have to use the horse. Yeah. Me and Red Pool Monkey, we had multiple games of pool. He's a phenomenal pool player. Joey had a few games. He's all right. He don't claim to be good. He's left-handed, though. It's always strange watching a left-hander play pool. But me and Red Pool Monkey, they were epic games. I hope to see him. I really want to get in England in April. Got to sell some more books, though, baby. Gotta buy more books for me, baby. Yeah, mortgage, death gorge. Yep, it is. It is. So when the rent has gone up almost 50% between rock and a hard place. Yeah, it is. It is. With renting and buying, you can argue about it every day of the week. It depends, doesn't it? Sometimes you buy and then 5 years later you sell it off 50% profit. Sometimes you rent and it's great and you actually are able to save money and you can move from place to place. You're not stuck at one location for 25 years, which is probably the average mortgage. I think they're now making it shorter. But yeah, there's pros and cons to renting and buying. I would just say right now, during this economy, if you was to buy, it's very dangerous. But they always say, buy when there's blood on the street. When everyone's struggling and the economy completely crashes, that's when the rich come in and buy everything from them. And then obviously it goes back up again. That's what they do. They destroy the economy and buy everything. And then the economy rises. They decide when it does, to be honest. There's a shortage of homes in the USA. Yeah, there is. There is. So I'm at a point now where I had a $300,000 house pretty much paid for. I was all set, did everything right. I thought, okay, I'm going to own all of this probably by the age of 40, everything completely owned. Then I gave it all up and gave it to beautiful Betsy. So now I'm almost somewhat back at the bottom on the ladder. I don't own a house anymore. I gave her it. I own a car, which is nice. But I'm in somebody else's apartment. I have a great relationship with the woman. Amazing. Pay rent like a lot of people where I live. all it needs is something to happen to her, or she suddenly says, you know what, I want to live in the apartment now, and you're gone, and you're like, geez, all right, now I need to find somewhere else. But I don't let that scare me. I believe God's going to look after me. I believe that wholeheartedly. I live in the present. I'm here now. I enjoy it. I might be here 10 years, might be here 3 years. The world might end this year. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just saying, I personally would not invest in a house right now for me. You might want to do it. It might work out for you in the long term. I don't know. I have to go. You guys in the chat are incredible. I feel like the people that follow my work now on YouTube and my website, really open-minded, intelligent, loving people. The so-called trolls or the so-called people that wanted to call out my work, they rarely ever appear anymore. I don't know if I out-talk them or they've converted to me or whatever it is, or they've just no interest in my work anymore. But I learn stuff from you guys every day. Like if I talk about a topic, there's always 3, 4, 5, 6 people that add to what I'm saying. So again, without you guys, I wouldn't even be doing the live. It'd be a waste of time, I think. So the chat makes the live. You know what I mean? It does. It really helps. It really helps. It's like watching a football game without fans. Remember how bad that was when you were watching football games with no fans? It's not the same. I'm not calling you guys my fans, but you need an audience. You need an audience for it to work. Right. Hans, thank you for everything. Your code about the founder of Adidas was spectacular. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for all of you sharing your work on my website. Don't have to do that, but why not? Share it. If you have your own platform, share it there. You don't have to put it on mine. Share it there. Do both. People like Chuck, he shares it on mine and his own. You know what I mean? Just do what feels right anyway. I have to go because I have to get ready for an English class with Lily. So she loves it. I've told you my passion's gone a bit for the English language since I realized it was probably the occult that came up with it. But again, it benefits her greatly in this society with her job. That's how I have to see it, and she loves it. I'm not going to put a downer on everything. You know what I mean? She loves it. I'm good at teaching it. It benefits her. That's what I'm going to focus on, the positive aspects of the English language, not the fact that it's probably the occult and it's casting spells on people. But it ain't going to stop us all speaking it, is it? We're not all going to stop speaking English. All right. Thank you. This was a lot better than Zach's streams. Again, I don't want to be in competition with Zach. I appreciate you saying that. We go about this work differently. You can watch both of us. You can watch both of us. But it seems like every chat somebody has to say you're better than Zach, or you this and that. We don't need that anymore. I appreciate it. Thank you. But I'd rather you just say this was a great stream than say this is better than Zach. But I'm not having a dig at you in any capacity there. I'm not. You get what I'm saying? I hope you understand what I'm saying. Have fun with Lily. Thank you. I appreciate that. Adam, when's Codemania? Now let me tell you something, brother. No, I don't want to get back into going back and forth with people. I don't want to do it. I just don't. I think next time the opportunity arises and somebody comes, I'm just gonna. I'm walking away from the haters in my life. I'm just gonna say, all right, no, I'm not interested, mate. And if people go, oh, you're scared, no, I'm not. But cheers, mate. I'm just gonna do that. I really want to get to that level. That's where I want to be. That's definitely a thing I want to improve on. Not rising to the hate. Don't want to do it anymore. I'm going to work on it. I really am. All right. Thank you. I appreciate you. Much love. Take care. And I won't be live tomorrow because I'm with Kenya all day. And I'm excited to be with her all day. I'm going to look after her, lunch, whatever she wants, I'm going to give her. And no, she's not a gold digger. It's a bit of food. You know what I mean? Not asking for like a Rolex watch. Woo! All right. So cheers. Take care. Much love. I'm going to go plan my English class. Bye-bye. Take care.